Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, another Thirsty Thursday, whatever it is. And hopefully, everyone's having a good week. And today we have an awesome friend of mine, Paul. We have him as a guest. We're going to be talking about pretty much from certifications, hack the box, ask us anything, and we'll just shoot the smack for the hour. So let's bring him in and see what he's up to. What's up, Paul?
Hey, Pat. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Let's try to do this a little different today. We'll try to do a little different view. Check it out, see how it goes. But awesome. Just how's everything going, my amigo? How's your week? What's going on? How's life?
Everything's good. Just got over my little stomach issue and, back to getting back into training, working out again. Going to get back into jiu-jitsu next week. Other than that, just hitting the certs, grinding, and just got over a little crazy week over work, a couple of weeks actually. But other than that, everything else has been good. Just shooting the shit, having fun, enjoying life.
Nice. Yeah. So, if anyone has any questions for Paul or I, obviously, hopefully this is streaming on your channel as well. But if you guys are watching this on my channel, please go over to Paul's, support him. He's been doing crazy stuff, talking about his journey, about every certification that he's went through, and all that good stuff. So definitely go sub. And you grew pretty quick, man, way faster than me. I think for 1,000 subs for me, it took like 6 or 7 months. So,
dude, I was like, yeah, I remember you and a couple other friends told me to do it, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And because if you know, like, even if I know you, like, I'm still introverted unless I have one of these, right? As you know. But like it takes my personality to come out. But I was like, I just did it and I kept it honest and real. Like, just telling them how it was, my experiences working in the tech industry, where I'm currently at. That's the only company that I've never worked at that's not, quote unquote tech industry like Facebook, Apple, GoPro, etc. So I just kept it real with my experiences and told it like it is and just gave them the honest, truth, what to expect. And pretty much, I know my generation's a little different than most people now, so there might be a little off tick. But other than that, that's pretty much what I did. And yeah, I was really surprised to go over that, was it 4K mark, which happened pretty quick. Then, like what you said, most people told me the same thing. So I was pretty shocked about that.
Yeah, so I think that's where it all comes from, is that whole like keeping it real. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, my whole journey as well since I started this, right? Like, don't try to be someone you're not. Just be the person that you are. And yeah, you're gonna probably get some, I guess you want to call them haters or that stuff. So I guess that we'll talk about this for a second, right? Content creation, and since you're new on the block, doing it this year, and if there's anyone else that's watching on your side or my side that want to get into the world of content creation, whatever, it doesn't matter. Go film your dog, do backflips or whatever, just to have the courage to get the camera, get it rolling, and throw it on there. Like, what is, let us know what it entails. Like, you're filming, you're editing, you're doing all your fancy stuff. So like, how has that journey been?
So editing was kind of a nightmare. I haven't used Adobe anything since I worked at GoPro, because I used to have, we were given GoPros and drones. And if it wasn't for me working there, I never would have done about half of the stuff I do now, or that I'd done, like downhill mountain bike racing, stuff like that. So that got me into the photo stuff, but I stopped. So I had to learn CapCut, and there was all kinds. There was another one. I think the other one you use, Da Vinci Code and stuff like that. So I had they're all like AI now, so it's completely different. So I had to relearn all that stuff. But as far as, the filming, the drone stuff, I still had that. I still do it on the side. I just don't put a lot of that stuff out there. Sometimes I will on Instagram. But yeah, that pretty much, as far as the editing was the most time consuming. Now I got it to a T. But with the more complex stuff I want to do with the drones, and I want to get to a day in the life of a pen tester when I first wake up, what I do in the morning, start my old routine back all the way till jiu-jitsu, come back at home. I pretty much want to go down that route as well, and just show people that, how my actual day is constructed. All the craziness that I cause people. I'm going to be doing the lives, hacking at Hooters, since, those are my homegirls. I want to go out there and get that nice cold Coors Light and do it live, some Hack the Box. So, that's my personality. So, Yeah, so just want to do a lot of stuff, a lot of different types of content. But again, that's me. That's who I am. That's who I've always been. So it's not like I'm trying to be someone that I'm not, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's the best thing, right? Like everyone, everyone that wants to do some content, just do it. Right. And not only like if you're this, especially like if you're trying to transition it into the field, right? If it's cybersecurity, IT, networking, cloud, etc., like starting to you don't have to put your face, right?
Yeah, no.
I always say this, you don't have to do that. And just like put together some projects and demonstrate those projects, because that not only helps someone else, maybe one person or a million people, who knows, but it reinforces and it has like a catalog for you. Like you don't know. When I did even my PMPT, right? I went to my co-browsing video to remember my command that I ran because I was getting errors. So I used my own video to relearn what I did, because I'm not running this on a daily basis. So like when I was doing it, I was getting stuck. So I went back to my archive to watch myself, right?
Yeah.
So that's definitely something, even like, mostly for that, like my VMware stuff, the Cisco stuff, the Microsoft stuff, I pretty much have that in the bag. But like when it comes to the offensive security stuff, like sometimes I have to, result back to my old shit,
Yep.
So
I agree.
Something that anyone can do, just do HackTheBox, even if you want to do it, whatever, try Hack Me or your own home lab. And that not only helps yourself grow, it demonstrates your skills for future interviews, and you have that to showcase.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say that, especially what Kaiser does with the Code Academy stuff. That's awesome. And that's pretty much the new way of building your resume nowadays. It's actually live for everyone to see in the world. And, you're showcasing your skills live. So that's pretty much what I want to do. Just throwing the fun stuff out there. Like I said, that's my personality, doing that stuff at Hooters on my lunchtime. So it's legit. It's not, hampering the work hours. But so that, it's showcasing your skills at the end of the day. And also if other people want to, learn not just ethical hacking, but cybersecurity in a whole, you could teach them and, show them where to start off. I always recommend people to try Hack Me just because it's free. I'm not going to tell someone to go pay $1,700 and they don't even know Linux or networking. I always just go that route and always tell everyone, start on try Hack Me. I won't even recommend HackTheBox if they don't have any knowledge. So, that's my whole point too, is also to give back if they're interested in it.
Yeah. And I used to do the same thing. And now like it's obviously try Hack Me is more user-friendly. EasyBox there is easy. EasyBox and HackTheBox is a medium. So like their levels, just like we always fuck around with and have joke around in our chats, like, but I think that's where like HackTheBox really tried to step up their game in that sense. Like, okay, let's make stuff user friendly. So that's why they started making their modules, not in their whole academy aspect. Before it was just ActiveBox and retired boxes, and that's it. They didn't have their academy aspect or their CTFs, etc. So that's definitely. But yeah, I totally agree. Definitely like get into try Hack Me, do all their fundamental stuff, and then pivot into HackTheBox or Vone Labs. Our buddy, I'm not going to mention his name because he likes to stay anonymous. Like Mr. T, like he loves Vone Labs, and he, I talk to him all the time, and he's like, dude, you should get into that. And sorry, Papa Dukes is calling, but yeah, like, so I definitely want to check those out at some point. But yeah, like if there's anyone out there that's watching, definitely jump into some of those platforms, and you'll see where you stand too, like with your skill set, so you know where to pivot to.
Yeah, and one other reason why I tell people about try Hack Me is because there's so many sectors in cyber within itself. I mean, I don't even know all of them. There's new ones popping up every day, right? Or different organizations rebrand things or call it, a different acronym. And, me coming from physical security, workplace services, facilities, always tell them the easy one for you guys to go into is either a PMO, project program management, or the GRC route, because you do that with audit compliance every day, especially, facilities, workplace services with the audits of environmental health and safety. And then also from the financial standpoint, and also even from workplace services, you got the procurement side, right? So, and the project program manager and the procurement side are skill sets that aren't really found in cyber. and they usually have to pickpocket from a different team. However, they unless it's a big organization, they'll have their own PMO, and that's your way in the door. You might not get ethical hacker right off the bat, but at least you're in there now. You could piggyback, shadow someone else, and then grow and then transfer in. And you're already in because it's easier and saves costs to hire someone that's already in house than out, externally. So that's what I always tell people.
No, yeah, most definitely. And everyone in the chat, thank you for. I'll normally get to those probably like 20, 30 minutes. So, Cheryl, awesome to see you. Yeah, we worked together for a couple of years, and it was a pleasure with you too, dude. So, we definitely have to catch up. Hopefully you're doing well. But, as far as like certifications and all that stuff, like getting into the world of ethical hacking, and in 2025, you're doing your CAPE, right? Is that the next one that is on your agenda, or is it the defensive one? I forget. CSDA or?
Yeah, so the CDSA, I completed the pathway. That was actually pretty good. Even though that's not, that would be like a backup, like me as a third stringer if there's an incident response, even though like I don't even know really where to even start, to be honest. And honestly, to touch on that, it's not only a good skill set to know, but it helps you be a better pen tester and red teamer. And I got my first feet thrown in a fire with no experience when we had our first incident when I joined Royal. And I honestly thought I was going to get fired. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I used Splunk to create metrics and dashboards on a minimum level for physical security, but not as a threat hunter. I was like, what the hell? And if it wasn't for JM, who and Dan the man, I probably would have got fired because I wouldn't have known. And my old boss, Christopher, I wouldn't have known what to do. But that was real great to get that kind of experience. And that's kind of what I like too, is getting my feet thrown in and just, that old school, throw the kid in the lake and have him swim back. That's pretty much how it was. But yeah, so the CDSA is real good, especially to get that basic foundation. HackTheBox training is great, even without the videos. But as far as for what your question is, I plan on getting that sometime between now and May. But yeah, it's going to be the CAPE and the CRTP simultaneously. I'm also working with that with Madam M, who so we're doing those kind of. We actually just got our labs. I got mine today, but mine officially open tomorrow, and I think we're officially going to start the CRTP tomorrow. So
cool, yeah. So thank you, Glenn. Appreciate it. Gonna go buy some more crack tomorrow. But yeah, I hear good things about the CRTP, and then you have people like who we talked about. It's like, oh, that's rubbish. That's he said that's for kids. That's literally because that's for kids.
Well, when you can look at a hack the hacker and blindfolded and know what the exploit is, you're on a different level, and you have your brain works differently.
Yeah, and I love him so much.
Yeah, that dude's badass.
Yeah, different level. Yeah. That boy said, "I'm so good. I don't even need to be in this Discord. I'm out this bit." But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, so that one was fun. And the cool thing about the CRTP, if folks don't know, I did a little bit of their training, and that's a little more realistic because sometimes when you're like thrown into an environment, you're thrown into a Windows environment, right? Yeah. Like you have whatever, if it's assume breached or just like low privilege user, and just like the CRTO, right? Like we just did those, or I just did it, and there's no Kali Linux, right? There's no Kali in that. So Windows, and you have a Linux box that connects to your C2, which in this case is Cobalt Strike. And it's like, okay, cool. Like now we have this, but you don't have those tools at your disposal like you do in Kali. So the CRTP, from my understanding, it's all like PowerShell. You have to understand techniques and all that good stuff. And
I like the instructor. What's his Nikhil? I hope I didn't say his name right. I did the boot camp for that and the Azure one, and he is like really, really highly proficient in just PowerShell enumeration, like stuff I've never seen before. I think for me, and honestly, I'm not, the only other person I know that could do that is my coworker Jerry. Like he knows the shit like at the back. I mean, he knows every command, PowerShell and Linux. And it's like, how the hell do you memorize that? But other than that, like that's how he is. And he could do stuff like, I would really recommend that training, especially for beginners, because he dives deep really into the PowerShell aspect and then really deep into those other tools. And I really was really impressed with that. And then also the training material is great too. And also building out that lab. Back then it was Covenant. I did that when I think it was part of Pentester Academy, if I remember correctly. Before he broke off to Altered Security. So they both are really great. So I'm looking back to getting those certs. And then after this one, go down the path and then sometime get the Azure one as well.
Yeah, that one would be good. I would like to do that just for learning more of the cloud. And then they have Pwn Labs and they have Breach Lab. Is it Breach Lab? Pwn Labs. I think it's Pwn Labs. And yeah, I think it's a little bit with their free AWS one. When I was going through their AWS, what is it? The Forest on HackTheBox. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I got that idea from Tyler.
Yeah, same here. If it wasn't for him, I never would have known about that. I did the two boot camps for Azure and AWS back to back in November and December. This past November, December, they were really, really good.
Cool. Yeah. So So about conferences and everything. So I guess before we get into conferences, like for you and for those folks that are, the only reason this popped up is because Noah just put that in there, and I talked to Noah about this today. It's about like networking, right? Like networking, conferences, getting your information out there or yourself out there for the information to network and those and whatnot. So for you and your career thus far, like, do you feel networking took a big part in your career, or it was just like you were going through an ATS system and you just, had the rainbow over your head that day and got a lucky draw?
I would say both. And what I mean by that is, so if I never would have met the people, well, I'll say his name, Ernest, who hired me at GoPro. And then he brought in someone he used to work with who was then my manager because of the way we grew, Aaron. If it wasn't for them two, I wouldn't have really known how to network. And they taught me the ins and outs of networking. I mean, you want to know how to network and where people offer you whatever, like that's how it was. He taught me that, like just how to network, not just in your realm, but also other realms. And I learned from them. If it wasn't, like I said, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have known how to network today. But also what I did at Royal, as far as my first pen tester role, no experience, no OSCP, no certs, got that on my own. So I do the both in parallel, because sometimes things don't align and things happen where you need something quick and you have to be able to, pivot and get it on your own. So I think learning both is best. And then also, I made a video about this, and some people, looked at me crazy, especially Ashley. Well, how come you said all HR recruiters are good looking? I go, well, they are, but you gotta understand, they also get you into places where not to do anything, no weirdo stuff, but they get you into places where if you build those relationships, they got direct contact with those hiring managers. Mm-hmm. They could set you up at a happy hour. When they go to those happy hours, those networking events with those managers, especially internally, they could get you direct, hey, go have a drink with them. Here it is, off the books interview. Mm-hmm. Boom, you're in. I've seen it happen. I know recruiters. I've seen that happen at GoPro, Facebook, Apple. That's what really happens. So like when I made that video, I'm like, I'm speaking from experience. I know, recruit. I've seen it happen. I've been there. I've managed security events at some of these, events that they had internally. So that's what really happened. So building that, network stuff, having good recruiters, because you might not even, and not just the girls, but even guy recruiters, something might happen where you gotta reach out, and then also help them out too. If they're looking for a good hire or a quick hire that they can't find, and someone in your network, help them out as well. So it's like give and take for both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a good point. That's definitely fair. And yeah, so that's more of the happy hour, all that good stuff. So now let's go to like conferences, right? So for a newcomer like Noah, he's a young a young man, and he wants to go to, you know, a hacking event that there's hundreds of thousands of people or whatever, fucking 50,000 people like DEF CON, or then you can go to one like B-Sides that have 1,000 people, if that. So like, how is that for someone new to the game, want to put themselves out there? They may not know, you know, like walk into a joint and just like hang out with folks that just go in there willy-nilly. Like, what is your recommendation or your advice for folks like that?
So I would say, number one, identify what your main goal is within cybersecurity, or even whatever, whether it's physical security, IFMA for facilities, or some of the financial stuff. Identify where you want to go into that sector. So like for us, right, Red Team Offensive Security, we're going to be more B-Sides, more the DEF CON local chapters, you know, the actual DEF CON in Vegas. But me, I want to open up my eyes and ears to other things, because things might change down the road, right? You never know with the way technology and things move. You also have to be open to that as well. So you also got to define certain conferences. So for me, I tell people, in my opinion, RSA and Black Hat are more manager and up, you know, in that aspects, and networking in that arena, whereas DEF CON's more getting your hands dirty, learning the actual art, the niche sectors of red teaming offensive security, right? You're not going to see the directors and the VPs and the C-suite at DEF CON. You might see one or two here and there, but you're not going to see that crowd migrate to, you know, the DEF CON. It's just not, like I said, you might see a couple of them. So you got to identify what you want and where you want to go. And then, but also keep that open mind, because things will change and the technology is growing and changing so fast that you got to be able to adapt. If not, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah. So I think, the RSAs, the Black Hats, that's more real, networking, making those relationships, going out. Like if you're, like you said, a VP or a CIO, and you're going to go and talk to different vendors and establish those connections, so you can either sell something or buy something or whatever, just to make more of those connections. Whereas, you go to DEF CON, that's where you see all the stinky binkies,
wearing their Tully hats from Ghostbusters with all the antennas and the god. I'm like, oh my God, Edward Tully. That show was funny.
Yeah. There's definitely interesting folks. Like if you guys aren't used to that kind of thing, like my first year, bro, like when I went with, I was with James and Myro and them.
Oh, 31?
Huh?
DEF CON 31?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like 2 years. This will be my third one this year. And I was, because I'm a little different, right? Like my whole attire. And I was in there. I was like, what the like this is there's some weirdos. There's some weird people.
It's a different crowd. I will admit though, they all are cool. I didn't
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone's not into that world or never seen it, they would be thrown off, especially when it was at the Caesars Forum and they were walking the strip. People walking with the helmets with the antennas, the backpack with the 1980s TV antennas. Like people were walking like, what the hell is going on here? And I try to tell people, don't take your work phone if you go that day. Don't take your regular phone, whatever, because and sure enough, that one that happened in 31, that's when the whole, I guarantee you at DEF CON, they did their recon for MGM and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's when that happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck around and find out. Yeah, man. So that's cool. So talking about that, like, what do you have planned this year so far? We're 2 months in. Like, do you have anything on the books that's set in stone yet for the year? Or
I got B-Side San Francisco and then RSA, Black Hat DEF CON, the B-Sides in DFW when that. I don't think it's been scheduled yet, but it's usually it was at the end of the year last year in December. And then I'm going to be going to Falcon for the first time. That's at the MGM, I think end of August, September timeframe. That's what I got right now. And then I'm going to try to go to B-Sides in San Antonio. And I'm still trying to go to the one in Transylvania, but I got to work out a sitter. So hopefully my mom could come down for that. But if not, then I won't be going to that. But I would like to go back to Romania. I miss that place.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And what about Wild West Hacking Fest?
Yes, October. I will be at that one. We talked about that the other day. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
yeah. That was, like I said, that one was really, really fun. I really enjoyed that, and my feedback on I don't know. I think I did make a video on it, but I don't remember. I make so many videos. I don't even know what I talk about half the time. But so like the feedback and my experience at Wild West Hacking Fest was, if you want to be there, like you're there because you want to be there. That shit's in the middle of nowhere. Like you're out there, you want to be there. It's not like you get off in Rapid City and it's 5 minutes away. That shit was like an hour and some change away in the boonies. So definitely and it's the most intimate conference I've been to. And I've been to a lot of conferences and IT expos and, even when I was in Cisco world and VMware world and, all that. And I'm like, man, like this was not only like awesome people there, like everyone, it was very intimate. It's not like we were talking about like DEF CON's really cool, but everyone and their grandmother can go there and just hang out, like this one is very intimate. So like, if you guys are into making those relationships, we were talking about, like, that's a good one to go to. And I know they just had like their more technical one out in Denver.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's the first one they had there, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I really wanted to go to that one, but I had some shit going on, and it didn't even look that cold. Like, some friends sent me some pictures, and I thought it was gonna be like brick out there, son. Like, I thought it was gonna be like mad cold, and I'm like, it's people out there with some hoodies. I thought they were gonna be out there with some North Faces and some like Timbs.
Oh yeah, all the snow attire.
Yeah, I was like, oh, interesting. But it's if they do it again next year, I'll probably definitely fly out there and see what that's about, because I heard that's more like the technical train, like more technical, hands on, exactly. So that'll be pretty dope. That would be pretty sick. So we're talking about like our team, right? HackTheBox, and obviously myself, you, Stinger, or Glenn, like we came up with this team, and we have people all over the world and all levels of hacking. And we all come together and just teach each other and just learn some shit on a Saturday, and throughout the week we help each other. My question is, and Glenn, you can answer in the chat. I need to get Glenn on here. I need to fucking pull his teeth out and get him. So like, for those that are like, oh, like I'm a noob, I don't want to do that because I don't know much. And, these machines are insane and blah, blah, blah. What advice would you give to these folks to like get over that fear? I guess you could say, like, or like imposter syndrome or whatever you want to call it. Like, how do you get over it? Because, and I can explain how I get over it. Like, when I go into an insane box, like, to be honest, I couldn't do it without you guys. And I'll be the first one to like keep it a buck. You know what I mean? Like, if I was all completely on myself, I probably wouldn't even get a user flag. And that's the God honest truth. But how has that been? And what is your advice for those folks that are just chilling out there wanting to get into it?
I would tell them, do it. I get help all the time. You're never going to know everything. And each one of us, the thing I noticed even solidified it even more joining that team, is each one of us have our own niches or specialties, right? Within pen testing, red teaming, offensive security, whatever you want to call it, ethical hacking. So each, Linux, for me, I'm horrible pen testing a Linux box. And I don't think I've ever seen one in the real world from my experience, at least not yet. Also, you also get us not only learn from other people, but you get to see how they think outside the box, or how they get to think, how they put things together, how they look at it. And then also the other thing for me that I learned, especially the Stinger, the first one we did, like as soon as we started, like I did my enumeration, like within not even 5 minutes, boom, he already had all the scans. I was like, what the hell?
So for episode 2 or Escape 2?
Or Escape 2 or something like that. Yeah. So the key thing with that is don't get intimidated, because there's people that do those for competitions. It's like video games for, I think that comes off, I think for some people that comes off like, holy shit, like
Like I suck.
CTFs are not pen testing at work. It's like some people really do this religiously. It's like playing Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever nowadays. So that's the thing, is these guys have it down to a T. It's muscle memory. But you get to see how people think outside the box, see how they think, how they put things together. And we've got someone, as we talked about earlier, that could just look at the damn screen and know the exploit. So getting to see how someone's brain operates and how it's wired that way you could get that trigger going in your head, and getting that, feel, or seeing someone. There's some people that, especially for me, I'm like this too. I need to watch a video or someone do it for web to show me, to get it in my head, to see how I could do it. Right. And we have people, we share the screens. We have people to do it that way, to show you, because there's some people that need to learn like that, and vice versa, opposite for Active Directory or Windows Enumerate, whatever the case may be. You get to see that firsthand and, build notes off of that. And we also do it on when the boxes are first released, 2 p.m., 1 p.m. CST, 2 p.m. Eastern. We do it like an actual engagement. So that's the other thing you learn from, as a team perspective, from an engagement standpoint. So there's a lot of benefits that you're getting from doing it that way.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And like last week, it really sucks when, I want to speak on, like, haven't missed a week besides last week because I had some family stuff to do. And I'm like, fuck, like when I get home, and obviously like I decided doing my enumeration, and then literally I got, we have the Stinger and he made out fancy scripts. So thank the Lord for the easy peasy lemon squeezy. But like the Windows stuff, even if it's insane, like I have a grasp, like I know Bloodhound. And that's why, like, with Jorge, like he was just like, okay, like doing Bloodhound Community Edition and doing
he's
import
badass
Bloodhound, like Python. I think it's import-Bloodhound. I think it's like the old Bloodhound thing, and just like, I guess everyone has their, like you said, it literally. That's why it's like so. I don't want to say difficult for me, but like I never got into like the video games and video, that kind of stuff. So like for me to get in it like hardcore, it's really difficult, right? Like I'd rather like do a real engagement, because the thing is, people don't recognize, like I have a couple of friends that are really not friends, like more of acquaintances that like are really, really good at CTFs, but like if you put them on a real engagement, they're lost. Right? Because people don't think about this. Like you can be an elite hacker, a guru on HackTheBox, but that's only, obviously, unless you're doing Pwn Labs and all these other things that you pivoting and using, proxy chains and as shuttle and, Lagolo and Chisel, whatever. But like in that world, it's just like, okay, I'm compromising this one machine, doing that, getting my flags and going on my merry way. Now you put them in a real environment, you have to do OSINT, you have to do rules of engagement, you have to do scope of work. There's so much more to a real engagement, and you're timed, and you have to do like, reconnaissance and doing Google dorking, even though you have to do some of that, you're doing research and stuff like that for your exploits and your boxes. But I don't know. I think it's a little different, me personally. And I think it's easier to do a real pen test than an actual CTF. That's just me. What is your take on that? Because you do them both every day. What is your?
I would agree. CTFs are different. I think CTFs are obviously more gamified, but they also get you to think outside the box, get you more of that acquisitive thinking mindset, which I like. And it's just good because you're not going to be pen testing every day. And that's good to keep your skills sharpened, right? You always want to keep your skills sharpened and up to date. And that's why too, I want to get more involved in that, because that was one thing I was lacking. I was not doing that. It was more, the practical, the training, the certs are practical, which is great, but doing actual live boxes in real environments is going to up it up a notch as well. And then also too, this is also how I am. If I don't use it, I lose it. So like one area I'll be good at, the other one I'll suck at because I haven't used it in a while. So doing the CTFs, everything's different. Especially the seasons, right? You're going to get a Linux, you're going to get AD, you're going to get an insane medium. So it's throwing all kinds of different things at you. So you you get to do your, you get to practice and keep the skills relevant and fresh. So that's pretty much why I like it as well.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's definitely a really good point. I think, it's two different ball games in my opinion.
Yep.
So so I guess we'll what time is it? We still got some time. I guess we can go through some questions because maybe we'll go on rants with these questions. I want to pull some of these questions up. So what do you think about Vuln Labs? I only did I haven't done it myself because you have to pay for it. I think it's like a couple pounds a month, but I was on a friend's account and I thought it was pretty cool. The cool thing is, I guess some people can think it's annoying because not our friend that we know, Mr. T, someone else that showed me this as well, Mr. T. And you have to go to Vuln Labs Discord and submit it's like a whole process to submit a flag. It's not like, so it can be a little pain in the butt, but from what I saw, I really liked what I saw. It was pretty slick.
I haven't done Vuln Labs yet. I want to do that. I'm still tinkering with Pwn Labs outside of the boot camp of what I've done. But yeah, that is something I want to go down next. But it's going to be, I think that's the thing for me. One of the hard things for me is I push everything to the side and I get hyper focused onto work just hacking in general, right? CTFs, certs. I even push my kids to the side. I'm like, go upstairs, play your goddamn PlayStation. Go to you got sports, we're going. And for me, it's just gym, training for certs, starting to get back into coding, the Sector 7, and then CAPE and CRTP. And that's pretty much how I've been. So I gotta find a way to change that up a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much, it's hard, dude, because when you get so into it, I don't like Saturdays, I want to stay up till 2 a.m. until we get the damn bots done. But it's hard, especially like when I see the stinger on there, I'm like, dude, this dude's all he's leading the team. He's leading in the front. And so, it's like, shit, I got to take him to get stuff for a school project, or I got to do, this. It's like, oh man, yeah, it's hard, but that's just how it is, But unfortunately, too, with cybersecurity, you got to keep your skills up. You can't, if you stop and keep your foot on a desk, you're going to get behind. You're going to be legacy and extinct, right? So it's hard. And I think for me, my biggest thing is getting time management. Yeah. Getting things better time management as far as putting stuff for my kids and, just being more aligned that way. Whereas it's just here and I've been like that from my mom says, I've been like that from a kid where, from football, I don't care if there's a funeral. I don't want my birthday party. It's just, I'm focused in, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that too. And I think it's from, my parents. I don't really talk too much about that, but it's like an addictive personality because they were addicts. And same thing with I fuck around with the green tea, but I'm addicted to that shit, right? I can't live without
you had the 424 packs the other day.
Yeah, I do. So, and the same thing now, like with this HackTheBox thing, right? Literally, since pretty much Glenn came over, when he came over my house and he showed me some of these tools, and I'm like, man, this new season, I'm like, man, I became like an addict, right? I was like, okay, I want to do this and I want to get to this next level, and oh shit, now I'm a hacker. You know what I mean? And it's oh, now I'm a whatever the fuck, a pro hacker, and then a lead hacker, and then a guru, and then I can't even say that fucking thing that Stinger is. What is it? A Tomyam, whatever the fuck you are.
Oh, omniscient or
whatever. I don't even know. I can't read that word, but so it's that's the same thing with me, and I literally try to push that, obviously to an extent, but it's okay, I want to laser focus. And now with, try hack me, I always been, passive with it. I do my daily tasks just to get, my little,
your
my streak.
Yeah. The streaks. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I do that too for HackTheBox, the Academy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then see, I never paid attention to rankings and places and
I don't either. I don't. I mean, I want to keep mine relevant. I don't want mine to dip nowadays. Now that I know you and the studio explained it, but I'm not going to go to the extravagant as I'm going to be like I'm an expert or taking the CTF as a gamer, like someone that does that for like Call of Duty, Fortnite, like for their life. I'm not going to go that extreme because there's no way in hell that I can manage that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like cool to like see, because I never even knew how far up I was in Try Hack Me until I seen like I checked yesterday and I was like, I don't know, 13 in the US. I didn't even know that. Like I was like number 13 in the US. And then like I think I was like 50 something global on HackTheBox. I'm like, holy shit, like so like getting through these things and like, oh man, like, and obviously having Glenn on the team and him pushing us and just having that, you know, understanding of the platform too. Cause I never really understood the platform. Like it always confuses shit. I mean, both of them, like going navigating. Now, obviously I'm pretty proficient with navigating, but it was like, okay, now I want to do more. Like what can I do that's going to bring me up? And it's starting to be an addiction. You know what I mean? Like it's starting to be like a little. So
I wish the gym opened earlier than 8. That way I could come back, shower, get ready, have everything done, and just have my machine prepped 2 hours before we start on Saturday for the season.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, it's crazy. It is an addiction. For me, like hacking is an addiction. Ethical hacking, offensive security. I remember back in the days, like when I worked physical security facilities, like people would look at me crazy just because just the way my mindset, even doing project, like how the hell would I break into this? People were like, why would you have that kind of mindset? And I just loved it. Like my dad was a mechanic and I always wanted to, you know, he did things a certain way, but I always wanted, because I know that he had that mechanic mentality of, for me, how can I be better than him? I want to bypass it. So I've always had that as a kid, right? And yeah, sometimes it goes into that gray, quote unquote, illegal-ish territory, but but that's the nature of the job, at least, you know, or unfortunately, however you want to look at it.
Yeah. What other cool questions? Let's see. Did you start with Try Hack Me first or HackTheBox? I guess I'll go first. Actually, I started out with HackTheBox. So when I studied and I was getting into offensive security, when I got my PayPal hacked, HackTheBox, you couldn't register. You had to get the flag, do that JS thing, hack your way in, get a registration code, I think they called it. And then you put your registration code, and then that's when you were able to get in. So I did start out with HackTheBox, and then I moved over to Try Hack Me.
It was green lettering, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that was mine. What about you, Paul? Did you start off with Try Hack Me or?
I did HackTheBox for a little bit. I did that getting inside, and then after that, it was more YouTube-ish stuff. And then once I really made that decision in 2019 to like, I need to get the hell out of physical security. It wasn't Try Hack Me. The older one. I think they got bought out by
Over the Wire.
No, I think was it Vuln something? They got bought out by Proving Grounds or OffSec.
Yeah, Vuln Labs.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
Yeah,
and then
Vuln Hub.
Yeah, and then it transitioned into Try Hack Me, and then more back to HackTheBox again.
Yeah, Vuln Hub was pretty cool because it was all the Proving Ground, and you just download them.
Yeah,
and download the VM, and then you can go to town. Let's see what other cool questions we got here. Yo, you both got CBTS. What's your advice you can give someone that's material? All right, go ahead. Give your shot.
For me, for the CBTS, I would definitely recommend if you're starting off with someone that has knowledge like Linux and networking, I would definitely recommend the Pro Labs. Dante pretty much was the route for me for that because it's a bigger, it's more of an actual engagement type scenario, if that makes sense. So I would go with the Dante Pro Lab. I wouldn't. I don't want to give people the bad thing, but I'll just say it from my opinion. CPTS, that would be overtake the OSCP, in my opinion. All the training is there that you need for it, but I would, to get that real world, they don't have the labs like the OSCP does, the ABC or whatever. I would do the pro labs. Start off with Dante. If you could do Dante, you're going to be able to get the CPTS, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's exactly, you know, because we did Dante with the team. And I think that definitely helped because you have to understand pivoting. You have to understand some of these tools that, yeah, you learn it through the path. But like me, Dante helped me a lot more too, because the path is only doing the, you know, you have your end, your capstone for the end, or, you know, your little thing every now and then. But, you know, Dante gives you that full range. Like you have that whole network that you have to pretty much do similar to the CPTS, right? You start out the external, you get in, blah, 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 and you use pretty much the same tools.
Yep.
You know, so.
And it's the same tools that HackTheBox recommends for both. So
exactly. So if you can get through Dante, you can get through, you should be okay with CPTS.
Yep.
Any other fun stuff? I feel like NoSRs give me enough knowledge even for junior positions. Am I right or completely wrong? I try to get my first HackTheBox cert. Okay. All right. So I guess like I did the PJPT, right? I think if you're looking to be a junior pen tester and you have, for an example, the PJPT, you know, yeah, maybe for juniors, a lot of corporations or a lot of firms, they say, okay, you're a junior fellow or girl or whatever. You'll do the external pen test first, right? Because you could do, you know, because on the internal, if you fuck something up with, you know, you could take down servers. I guess you could do both, but it's less likely to take down someone on the external side versus the internal side. So, you know, like if you haven't gotten a job, and I think having, you know, doing PJPT, I think that'll give you an understanding of some of the, and it's super cheap, right? And I got a comment the other day on my PJPT video, and if you ever watch this, you're a fucking idiot. So like, yeah, the kid's an idiot, moron. So like, he's like, oh, I lied because he failed and he just did the AD section and failed. That's you, idiot. That's not me. Yeah. Like I literally showed what I did. And in my video, even my PMPT, right? Like I never did all of those classes from Heath, right? Like I just did what I needed to brush up on. And I'm not pen testing every day, you know? So, and I was totally fine. And if you understand the AD section, that's all you need for the PJPT.
Yeah.
And no questions asked. If you fail and you did that, that's on you, boo-boo. You know what I mean?
And from what I've been told, that's how the new OSCP is. I mean, I think you still got 1 or 2 boxes, but for the main bread and butter, it's no more coming in from the outside. You're given the credentials and to start off internally now.
Yeah, exactly. Like the PJPT, literally, like if you watch Heath's Active Directory section when he builds out his lab, right? He has his, what is it, Marvel.local. Then you have your Windows 7 or Windows 10.
Frank
and then
Castle, Spider-Man and all that.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Superman, whatever. And like, that's, you know, without giving the exam away, that's the exam. Like if you do that, you're golden. So maybe that person is on some other shit. But yeah, so good luck. Come, you know, like if you're doing a junior, just to get that practical exam experience, if you can afford it, I would do maybe PJPT just to get that feel of an exam, you know, versus thrown in the fire of the CPTS, because CPTS is not a beginner cert. No. I'm telling you that right now. If you're straight off the ripper and you're new to the game, you're gonna fail that shit. I'm gonna tell you that off the rip, son.
That is, I was shocked when I saw that they had that notated as beginner. Dude, that's how I think I was at my computer the whole time for that CPTS, that whole thing. That Like, I think that's what just springed everything with my stomach issue. And I thought I had shingles on my face again. Yeah. That was, and then if you take the CPTS, don't let the 10 days fool you, because those exploits are real life and there's a lot of resetting in those boxes. Just FYI. It was, yes. That's all I'm going to say.
And it's 10 days for the whole thing, right? Including your report. It's not like 10 days and you have extra time for your report. So literally you have like 7 days and like 3 days to write your report. But yeah, so hopefully that gives you some hope, dude, and some direction. So good luck, and you got this. Rock out. Let's see, you got 10 minutes. Any other cool questions? I'm about to take the PMPT exam. What is for me? I'll let you do your thing first, Paul.
Yeah, for the PMPT exam, literally everything is in there. You don't need anything else. The PMPT exam, everything is straightforward. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but as soon as you hit that start exam button, they're going to give you more information that you wouldn't normally get in any other cert. So you'll already have certain things already. You just got to import them into Kelly. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But other than that, just watch all the videos and practice. I would practice a couple other boxes, like retired boxes. You don't need to do pro labs for that, in my opinion, at least. Pro labs might be a little overboard for PNPT, but yeah, everything is in the training, and just do retired boxes for the free ones that are on Try Hack Me or Hack the Box will be good.
Yeah. So the ones active boxes, I think that I wrote down for advice when I was giving people was like Forest was one, active, which is like Active Directory co-browsing. Yeah. There was one more. Shit. And then they have on Try Hack Me. They have one of their pen testing lab, not the Red Team Capstone. There's another one that's actually pretty much.
Yeah, they have as a junior something. There's like different pen tester pathways, and they got the Red Team stuff too.
Yeah, but it was an actual room that you can do.
Oh,
and it's like,
I don't remember. Yeah,
it was pretty almost dead on, to be honest. But yeah, that was that. And let's see, any other. No, I never took the EJPT.
I've never took them either. I've never even took any of their training.
That's it.
Because when I really started my training, that's when that company got bought out by INE or some shit like that. So there was like up and down. So I didn't even mess with it. I haven't even taken any of them.
Yeah, Wreath, that's the one. Or Ruth.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, the networking ones. The AD ones.
Yeah, they have the whole AD. Thank you, Josh. Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much, if you can, that was always my recommendation. If you can get through that, you can get through the PMPT.
There's a couple of those. There's a couple of those rooms, right?
Yeah,
that are like Wreath. If I remember correctly.
Or whatever, Holo, and there was a few others. And let's see, there was I think just do it. Enumeration is often overlooked or raced through by newbies. Not even newbies. Me too, because we just want to get. I want to show this one because I think this is super important. When like just do it, enumeration always overlooked or raced through by newbies. It's all about taking your time and solving a puzzle any way you can. Dude,
he's right. Like I said, I'll bring back to the first week when the Stinger, when we did the first Escape 2 box. Literally, I was like, I thought I was being in a competition, and he already had all the stuff posted down, dude. And I was like, I started panicking. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get behind. I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot. But that's how I took it. I took it like it was like a video game, and you got to calm down. Again, I believe if I remember correctly, he does it like comp-wise sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta understand that CTFs, obviously it's a different type of pen testing, but these are like actual competitions like video games. So when you do them and you're on a team and there's people that do it on a comp-wise, don't change your methodologies at all. Just learn and build on it. If you want to go that competition route, or change it a little bit, right? Like ask how they get those, how they're able to do it fast, or see how they write their scripts, how they put their scripts together to see what kind of tools they want to go to enumerate. But don't lose and change your methodology and panic and just, throw everything out the window. Like you're, like if it's a football game, don't change your game plan when you don't need to, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. No, facts. Let's see what other things, if there's anything that's cool to share. Gym at 4 a.m., hacking 6 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Jorge. Yeah, man. Like that's literally like my New Year's resolution, thanks to Glenn, was like, because usually I wake up, start work at 9 and just like wake up at 8:30, go downstairs, have a banana and have my green tea, feed the cat, and then I'll just come upstairs. Now it's like, yeah, time to bring a pub sub and Publix pub subs, baby. And like now it's like I wake up at like 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I come in here either, I do something, and even if it's like an hour of just whatever, like even if it's a box I already done,
Yeah.
just to say like, just to try to get this enumeration. Like I'm not as fast as Glenn. Like there's no, like I still have my old school things and I have my ways, but but it's just like instilling those commands and just having those step-by-step processes. And with the Linux stuff, I'm shit too. Like the Linux boxes, I'm like, like Hootie and Glenn and even T Meister, like they're like,
yeah,
even Jorge, Caffeine.
Oh yeah, he's a Linux guy. I was talking to him about that because remember he did the new version of Bloodhound.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, he's the one that put everything together for me to make the video.
Yeah.
He pretty much, yeah, this is all you have to do. But yeah, man. So like the moral of this is just like Glenn said, like take your time, and obviously in a competition, yeah, balls to the wall, brute force, get first one to the finish line. Who gives a shit,
Yeah.
But like when you really want to, that's why literally like we talk about this in our group, right? Like on Saturday and Sunday, it's all about just getting the flags and learning it during the week. That's what we do, right?
The T points, yeah.
Like we get the points, we get everything done. And so now, okay, on Monday, we can chill, we can do like actually understand how to exploit this box, just because like before we're just like throwing hammers at the windows and seeing how we can get in and rob the place. And then we're like, okay, now how do we actually bypass that CCTV camera or whatever, like the alarm system or whatever, just really hone in on that. But the moral of the story, I just want that TV off that wall and get the fuck out of there, right?
Yeah.
So same thing.
And there are tools to do that, but there are some times there's rules against HackTheBox, as the Stinger would say, to pretty much kick in the door. But two, also, number one is obviously the T points, but again, too, it's also mainly is understanding, understanding how they work, how the exploits work, being able to see them visualized. Again, for me, I need that for most of the more experienced advanced web stuff, I need the visualization.
Yeah.
Some of the other stuff like now I got an understanding of doing SQL and burp, sending payloads in burp and all that stuff. Like that's, easy now because I got it. And
that's still a little foreign to me. Like I'll just do it like when I'm watching a video or if I'm doing a walkthrough, but to really understand that shit, like I wish we had a Wi-Fi box, just like the other day, like that one day when I haven't done, because when I was working at Next Gen T, and that's why I was working with Cheryl, if Cheryl's still watching this, but we had a HackTheBox account, and then I did that Wi-Fi one when it was active, which was a couple years ago, whatever. And then I did it again. Like that stuff is cool, so everyone has their niche. Going back to what you were saying, the Linux stuff is someone's niche, the Windows stuff is someone's niche, this is web stuff, whatever. You're never going to be a pro at everything. And,
no. That's why when someone says they're a pro at everything in hacking, that's like buying that piece of shit software that says we're unhackable. That's how I see it. That's how I'll tell them straight up. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you can go from satellite to car hacking to AD to web, RFID, NFC. You can't be an expert at it. It's just way too complex.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Exactly.
Unless you get Neuralink implanted in your head.
Cool. So what does Glenn say? 5:30, 4 a.m. on Thursday. Hit the gym, go to work. Paul needs to check out of networking, tuning, Wi-Fi thing. Yeah, this is what he's saying. Video and positions inside of the rooms. All right, so hack and then document the right way. Exactly. This is our methodology. Hack it then and document the right way. That's literally what we do. All right, so it's the top of the hour. I just want to, obviously respect your time. And USA is playing tonight at 8 o'clock, hockey. So about to go probably watch that. So any last words? And obviously I'll see you on Discord and see you on the flip side and on Saturday. So if there's anyone, I'll put this out there, because I think we're on both platforms. So if there's anyone that's out there that's looking to be active, I want to actually say that, try to reword this. If you really want to learn and be active and be a part of the team and learn something and hack on the weekends and stuff like that, feel free to join the Discord server and, we can get you on a team. But like Glenn put in the chat, and I'll reword it or re-say it, like if you have 0 points, we're 6 weeks in, you bog everyone down. So it's not really worth it. It's not because we don't love you. It's just, it is a competition at the end of the day. We want to, keep the ball rolling and have everyone have fun, but at least participate. So if you're not going to do that, chill out and stay back. But if you're willing to learn and willing to fuck around, chill with us, come join the party and let's hack some shit. That's my last words. What about you, PB?
For me, I will always tell people, if you want to get into cybersecurity, whichever realm you want to get in, you got to be consistent. You got to show up every day. And I know there might be people that are laughing at me because, you're like that for work, but you're not like that with everything else. Like my mom's probably going to say, you're not like that with your kids and all that. But you got to be consistent. If not, you will be extinct and legacy, and you'll be left behind. You got to be ahead of the trends and the curves. Again, I'm up, like Pat said, I'm on here in the morning till at night. That's just what it is if you want to be in this field. And it's not easy. There's a lot of people on YouTube. I'm not saying that in a bad way or trying to hate on them, but there's a lot of bullshit that you have to deal with, especially if you're on the incident response side. I mean, it's 24/7. Sometimes shit hits the fan, and that's life. That's the job. It's not just all, money and prettiness. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that you don't see about, or you can't see because obviously work and stuff. They can't put that online. So it's not easy is what I'm trying to say. You got to show up.
Awesome. Again, thanks so much, Paul. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in on both channels. Hopefully, if you're on my channel, please go subscribe to him. And if you want to subscribe to me, if you're on his side, cool. Love you guys. And I want to say thank you, Paul. And see you on the flip side, brother.
See you, Pat. Have a good one. Thank you.